Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass. Now I'm going to be doing a video for you guys today on my setup. Now I'm not going to be going into a lot of detail. I'm going to see if Barry can do one of these as well, just as a kind of final video in terms of what our setup is. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because most videos that me and Barry do, we get comments and questions about what wallpaper or icon pack and what kind of widgets and things that we're using on our phones. Now unfortunately we can't answer all of your questions in terms of the details of what we're using on our device. So what we're going to be doing instead is anytime we change something on our phone, so if we apply a new wallpaper that we think you guys will like, or we find a new icon pack that we want to let you know about, we're actually going to be posting it to Google Plus and also to Twitter. So do definitely go hit the links down below and follow us on both of those social networks to get the latest from what we're using on our phones. Now in terms of my Android device, I go very minimal with all of my devices. I usually have dash clock on. I'm not using it at the moment because I've actually got it on my lock screen. If I just lock my phone real quick and then unlock it, you can see here that I've got dash clock on my lock screen. So this is where I get most of my information regarding emails and texts and things like that, or just in general anything that I may have missed. Now on my actual home screen itself, I don't really have anything apart from some icons. Now I've also got the Google search just here at the top, and obviously down here I've got my main folder, which is my everyday apps. So in here I've got the Chrome beta, camera, Gmail, Google Plus so I can talk to you guys, Play Music, Sunrise, Talon, which is my Twitter client of choice, and again you can follow us on Twitter, WhatsApp and also YouTube. And I've also got some communication apps down the bottom here, so I've got Hangouts, phone, and also access to all my pictures as well. Now in terms of actually how I set my phone up, I use Nova Launcher on every Android device that I've ever had. Now what I do with my dock is I make it a small icon dock so that I've got plenty of room here to look at things like my wallpaper, or if I do have any widgets on, I've got plenty of room for those as well. When I go into my actual app drawer, you can see that I've made it look very stock by using Nova Launcher. Now the way that you do that is just removing the tabs at the top, and that way you can make it look just like KitKat on a Nexus device. Now if I just jump into my Nova settings, which I access with a swipe up from the app drawer, if I go into the look and feel options and then go into my icon theme, you can see here that I'm using Heracon, is what I'm going to be calling it anyway, but I've also got some other ones on there like hollow icons and also minimal. Now sometimes I do a mixture of a lot of icons in one, but I'm actually just using Heracon at the moment, apart from I think for one application, which is the gallery app, and that one's coming from minimal. And this icon pack is very flat and a very minimal icon pack, and just in general I like the way that it looks and feels. It takes a lot of inspiration from the moonshine icons. Now obviously the moonshine icons, if you don't know, there's some leaked photos of what the next version of Android is going to look like, and apparently these are mock-ups or basically replica icons from what the next version of Android is going to have. Now I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in terms of the applications that I've got, so what I'm going to do, obviously you can see here my first page just have main applications from Google. There are some of my own on here like Cloud Magic, Feedly, Groupon, Yahoo News Digest, but most of the apps on the first page here are going to be stock with your Android device. Heading over now to the next page, again a lot of stock apps on here apart from Plex, Real Racing, like I mentioned before, Talon. Sunrise is my calendar app of choice, and I'll be doing a separate video on that later on. I've also got Simpsons tapped out, Trials Frontier, and also Weather and WhatsApp. So a lot of the applications that I've got on here are quite stock. I've started to use my phone a lot more as just a phone as opposed to what I used to. When I had my iPhone, I had so many applications and things installed, and also when I first got my Samsung Galaxy S3, when I moved over to Android, I had so many applications on my device that I didn't necessarily need. And that's pretty much going to do it, guys, in terms of my final setup video. Like I say, I'm going to leave some links down in the description as to where you can follow us on both Google Plus and Twitter. And like I say, if you've got any questions about a setup, the best place to ask us is on Twitter or Google Plus. The comment section on YouTube is a little bit far-fetched, and there's some things that aren't necessarily right with it. So if you do want a quick or fast response, it's best to go over to Google Plus or Twitter to ask us those questions. But in terms of future setups, like I say, if I do change my wallpaper or find one that you guys like, we will have specific folders for things like icon packs and wallpapers that you guys can go have a look at and download them for yourself. So like I say, guys, follow us on Google Plus and also on Twitter for the latest. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass. That's been a quick look at my setup, and I will catch you guys in the next video.